Hi, and welcome to Main Street AI, the podcast where traditional businesses are quietly revolutionizing their operations with artificial intelligence and winning. In this podcast, I sit down with industry leaders from law firms and professional services, fitness and membership services entrepreneurs, and other Main Street businesses to explore their AI journey. We dive into the opportunities they see, the challenges they're navigating, and the real impact of AI on their industries. Whether you're AI curious or ready to implement, this show brings you insights from leaders who are actually using this technology to serve customers better, empower employees, and drive profitable growth. What happens when you combine a law firm with accounting, insurance, wealth planning, and private equity, all under one family-owned roof? Well, you get KPA Lawyers and Blue Star Equity, one of the most unconventional and fastest-growing professional service firms in Canada. Jacob Murad isn't your typical law firm owner. As a corporate M&A lawyer with 11 years of experience, he's scaling a multi-service empire through strategic acquisitions of retiring lawyers' practices, extracting value from decades of client relationships that would otherwise disappear. But while most attorneys who are using AI focus on it for document review and legal research, Jacob is laser-focused on something most completely ignore, which is sales and marketing. With ambitious goals of reaching 100,000 clients across all services and expanding both in Canada and the US, Jacob offers a refreshingly honest perspective on the balance between technology and personal service in professional practices. Let's jump in. Hey, welcome back. This is Stephen Whittier, Satori Coach IO, and I'm joined today with Jacob Murad of KPA Lawyers in Ontario. Jacob, thanks for joining us. And could you just give us an introduction, tell us a little bit about your firm and your background, and then we can go from there.
Well, thanks for having me. So I've been a corporate M&A lawyer for about 11 years now. I'm the owner of KPA Lawyers. I'm also part of a family private equity firm called Blue Star, which is kind of a one-stop shop professional services firm. We're also in accounting, insurance, wealth planning, and the fund space, and the legal arm is what I kind of manage as well. We operate in 5 different locations. Well, we are full service, wills, litigation, real estate, family. We do all of that. We are constantly growing, and we recently opened up a location in Florida as well. So we're a fast growing firm, and
International.
we're excited to see. Yeah, we're excited to see where the next step is.
Great. In terms of the AI conversation, what sort of trends are you seeing in the industry right now? And maybe this can also cross the line over into the private equity too. I don't know how much is going on in that side of things, but for sure from the legal standpoint, what sort of trends are you seeing that are impacting this? And that could be specific to your firm, or it could be industry-wide.
Yeah, it's there's. I mean, where do I start? It's everywhere. In the news, it's pretty prevalent in the litigation space where when you're litigating, you have a lot of court lawyers who are litigating, and there's a lot of paperwork that has to go back and forth in court. So it's been in the news a lot that litigators are using AI to just help put those together. It's reaching for laws and case laws and what you submit to the judge. Only I don't know what it is about this particular area. AI is not, it's making up cases. It's making up
Hallucinations.
laws. Yeah, and they're getting caught by judges both in Canada and in the United States, and they're getting heavily penalized on that. Now, I will say that this is not ChatGPT or AI's fault at all. At the end of the day, a lot of lawyers they would delegate junior associates or students to do some of the research and put it together. And lawyers that have to argue should always be looking over this stuff. But for some reason, maybe they never did, but now they're just looking at ChatGPT and saying, oh, they're going to do it, and they don't look it over. So that's kind of one avenue. But another, not just on the lawyer side, but on the client side, I can tell you we're seeing a lot where clients are making a lot of use of AI. It's calling into question the lawyer's practice, where let's say they make a contract using AI, a distribution agreement, a shareholder agreement, whatever it is, and they send it to a lawyer, someone at my law firm or my colleagues, and they go, hey, just review it, make some changes if you have to, and that'll be fine, because they're trying to be very cost
Mhm.
conscious,
Sure.
and they are trying to use ChatGPT to do that. But the problem here is the product that it's producing. It could be fine on its own, but it depends on what the client wants. And we're seeing kind of a push and pull between what exactly AI can do and what a lawyer is really used for.
Mhm.
Um, and when people talk about AI replacing lawyers, sure, it replaces the lawyers that all they did was just draft a contract or draft a will. Those, I mean, it used to be that only a lawyer could do those things, and now AI can do those things. And frankly, beforehand, there were a lot of technologies that produce these documents. So really, a lawyer has to be a lot more conscious, not about the cost, but about the value that they're providing if they want to beat AI. So that's, and by value, I mean being that customized solution to really help someone solve their problems. AI isn't quite there yet. You can ask it questions and for some advice, but it's, if you've ever done that with AI, it hedges. You should probably talk to a lawyer. We don't know anything. So we're seeing a lot of that too. People are pushing back against the need for lawyers because they think all they do is draft. And there are some lawyers that is all that they do. So there's a push and pull there.
Yeah, really interesting. The litigation piece has been a recurring theme that I've been hearing from people with those concerns. And we were talking about the hallucinations and the need for review, careful review when it comes to drafting those documents or reviewing those documents. Ultimately, if you just use the surface layer of these large language models, their job is to make the end user happy. So that's where the hallucinations come into play. And
Right.
yeah, so it's a good point about the need. Where do lawyers come in still? It's, well, there's a tremendous amount of nuance and context there. It's not just about the boilerplate. What are some fears or uncertainties, apprehensions, anything like that that you're seeing around AI, aside, of course, from being liable for litigation? Are there any other trends you're seeing there on the negative?
Um, okay, so besides liability concerns of, using it, there's also a push and pull in terms of the type of model that a law firm is. So a law firm kind of, a lot of, depending on the industry, a lot of lawyers, they charge per hour.
Hmm.
So you're charging per hour, and there's a billable hour model, where there's a meter, and every time you use them, they charge accordingly. Well, if AI can do the job in seconds, there's a concern that, okay, well, maybe I don't need this staff. Maybe I don't need. Maybe all I need is a couple of lawyers and the AI, and I don't need that much to provide service to the client. And the concern there is it's still, um, by doing that, I'm seeing a lot of people, lawyers who are, they're becoming over reliant on technology. It's the same with virtual firms in general, where they don't have an office, you just use virtual technologies to provide service. And when you rely too much on it, you forget that this is a personal service business. That's what a law firm is. So when you don't use enough of the bells and whistles, you move away from providing that service to the client. So the concern is, rather than help the lawyer provide better service because it increases their time, to spend on service, they're actually becoming lazier.
Hmm.
So now there's an overall quality control where the quality of a lawyer's service is going down because there's over reliance on a software. And again, that's not new with AI. It's just probably more so now with AI than ever before. I would say that would be a big concern.
Yeah, makes sense. There's got to be a balance there for sure. Um, then on the other hand, what would you say you're most excited about for AI and its potential?
I think there's some really cool stuff that it can do. I mean, I test around with it a little bit. For example, there are certain monotonous things, specifically lawyers or anybody actually in the business world has to do. Write a letter, put it in the nice format with the nice on the letterhead and everything. If you can say, hey, I just want to write the letter that says this, and it produces it and it's better than what you can do, It's that used to be, I don't know, 2 hours of your day, maybe, just to get the formatting right so it looks nice. That's which, and it's not really helping anybody. So that's a big deal. I think the use of it when you combine it with sales and ads and social media,
Mhm.
being able to produce. I mean, I'm not very good personally at posting the right words on social media, the thing that will get the right tags and so forth. Whereas AI can do that very well. It understands that very well. And when you tie that into the rest of your marketing plan and maybe your Google Ads or anything like that, it really helps with sales and marketing
Sure.
better than doing it by yourself. So I'm excited about that and seeing how that can expand the breadth of of the legal industry in terms of who they're servicing and giving people access to lawyers that maybe they wouldn't have had access to
Mhm.
because the lawyers themselves don't know how to market correctly. So I think that's very exciting.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Um, Next one, have any of these trends that we've talked about had any direct impact on your practice so far, or not so much?
Um, so the hallucination case law, no, not yet. At least not that I've heard of yet. The clients that are sending clearly ChatGPT
Yeah.
contracts and saying, look at it. Yes, we're getting a lot of those nowadays. Hey, I don't want to talk to you. Just look at this and what'll this cost? Um, we're seeing a lot of clients that maybe they're, like I said, they're a little bit more cost conscious. They're saying, well, all you did was put a couple of comments. They're discounting because they know that an AI can do it faster. They're discounting what went in, what kind of strategy went behind it. So if you're not communicating that properly, you'll just lose some clients.
Mhm.
So, like I said, quality of service, that communication and explaining, hey, the strategy that goes into why I'm commenting on this and not
Yeah.
on that, versus if you fed it into ChatGPT, it would give you something more comprehensive, right?
Mhm.
So there's that. So that we're definitely seeing there's a direct impact. And yes, on the sales and marketing side, yeah, we are using it. It's a very useful tool on sales and marketing. It can produce PowerPoints very fast. It can produce social media plans. The I wouldn't say we're using it on the legal end. Maybe there are some other firms that have been more successful at it. So we haven't been using it on that sense, but we are using it on more of the non-legal, more of the like I said, sales and marketing, operational, manual, like things like that, that just are very time consuming. They provide a very good base. ChatGPT can provide a nice base that you can use. It's just a helpful tool, like any software technology that came before it. I always just look at it like it's just another tool, right?
Mhm.
In what was it, early 2000s, Thomson Reuters and LexisNexis, they came out with precedent tools where you can download it. Oh, here's a contract with all the notes on how to use it and strategize around it. That was a pretty good tool too, right? So there's lots of tools, and so long as you use it properly to provide better service and make money out of it, then it's great. If you use it wrong, then use it wrong. I definitely don't think it's going to replace uh, service professionals anytime soon. It'll simply replace what other technology was replacing, those
Mhm.
that haven't been providing the correct value.
Yes, absolutely. Great. I wanted to pivot now and talk a little bit more about your business, your practice. Um, where would you say that you're at right now? You did mention you're fast growing, which is great. Where would you say you're at growth wise relative to your industry, and where are you looking to grow it to?
I might want to clarify. What do you mean by where we're at, like in terms of
Just in the
the
greater,
rate?
yeah, greater scheme of like your level in of your
Um,
firm in terms of industry overall, and then what level are you looking to get to?
sure. I mean, I don't know of any other firm in this country that has grown at the rate, except for maybe a couple. I don't know of any other firm that has grown at the speed with which we have grown. We can attribute some of that to acquisitions.
Mhm.
One of our strategies, for example, has been acquiring the practices of retiring lawyers and law firms where they're aging out. They don't have an answer of what to do. They have lots of clients. Their firm is totally fine, but normally they just have to tell their clients, I'm sorry, I'm retiring now. So we would acquire their business. So we acquired a number of different firms, and that's been very helpful, and integrating the staff and integrating the clients. So I don't know of any other one that is independently owned. Most law firms, as you know, are partnerships. You've seen
Mhm.
that. Oh, partner. We don't have partnerships. We are a large family-owned business, and that has grown, I don't know, 3-4 times the size over the past couple of years. I don't know of any other ones. And then of those that are also now offering ancillary services, like in accounting, I know that there are a lot of accounting firms, KPMG, for example, that are starting up law firms to try to
Mhm.
do that cross-selling that we're talking about, where you have a client, they have more than just a legal problem. They have a problem also in the accounting space as well. I want to start a business, but I also need books to be done.
Mhm.
And now we can offer everything. So I know there are a lot of accounting firms that are doing this, but I don't know of many law firms that are offering this kind of, hey, you come here and we'll help you, we'll solve your problems, right? So yeah, I think we're doing very well, and we're going to continue to grow at exactly the same rate. We have no signs of slowing down.
That's excellent. Yeah, it's a brilliant model. Um, you do so many things, you cover so many bases. What would you say in particular that the firm does like extraordinarily well that you're always hearing from your clients as a recurring theme? Like this is where you just blow it away.
Um, yeah, I think I always keep talking about service and quality of service. I think where we where we blow things, I think the idea that we can get right down to um, uh, someone wants to call in, let's say they want a will, and then as we're talking to them, we say, hey, it looks like you need accounting. And then we have them talking to an accounting professional. And then we also follow up with them a year from now. Hey, you haven't updated your will in a year. And we give them newsletters and communications. And we sign them up and we give them free material. I think that kind of service, all the way from when they first call, and we track them so that we know exactly, have they been serviced? Who have they been serviced by? How much have they paid? Can we give them a discount? I think that's really where we blow away the
Mm,
clients, that there are all these people that whatever problem they have, they can always just call someone,
right.
legal or not, and they'll be pointed in the right direction. I think that's probably where we blow away the competition.
Yeah, that's very powerful. Uh, now you mentioned that you're on a steady growth rate, continue to expand with the brilliant acquisition model. Where would you say in the more short term specifically? I always like to ask like 6 to 12 months, what's your target?
Well, we're hoping to expand in the States, have at least 4 more offices in the United States. Um, we're hoping to have a couple more offices here in Canada, and as well as several more offices on the ancillary services side, so the
Mhm.
accounting and the insurance as well. Um, and to have over 100,000 clients
Wow,
across the board. That's what we're hoping to do.
phenomenal. And will that be facilitated primarily through the acquisitions or simply opening up new,
Both.
both?
Both. A little bit of acquisitions, but also, we've spent the last couple of years really getting a hold of the data, and trying to understand. Like, for example, I'll get very granular. When you acquire a law firm and that law firm has, let's say, 5,000 wills in a safe and 10,000 names of people that they have done work for, well, you have to clean out the list and clean out the data so that you can better serve the community, right? So when you reach out to them and say you haven't updated your will in 1992, you have information on them. So we've been spending the last couple of years really fine tuning this list so that we can better grow organically. So I'd say that a little bit of it's half acquisitions, but half of that, okay, now that we've cleaned up the list, we're ready to really launch some great products on a big way. So
Gotcha. Would you say that there are any particular challenges that you foresee in terms of trying to hit these growth targets?
yeah, training, internal training is a tough part. There's no shortage of service professionals being churned out of schools. There's a lot of turnover in whether it's the legal industry, accounting. There's a lot of turnover. Everyone's changing jobs,
Yeah.
and the problem is every time there's a change of position, whether it's with us or whether we're onboarding someone as we grow, there's a lot of training that has to happen. They have to understand how we do things, what we value, and there's a cost to that, and there's a lot of time.
Right.
And then if that person says, "Hey, you know what? This isn't for me," it starts all over again. So you
Yeah.
might have a couple of false starts. I think that that's probably the biggest. That's probably the biggest issue. And this is not just at my firm. This is just prevalent in the
Everywhere. Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah.
time and energy and resources that goes into that. Is there anything that you see, any challenges relating to the AI, just to come full circle and bring that back into the conversation, that would be part of that equation?
Yeah, yeah. I know, for example, we had one hire who used AI a lot. So much so I had to tell him to tone it down because he's not reviewing it. So
Mhm.
again, AI is fine. You can use it, but you have to review it and use it as more of a supplemental tool, not as a, hey, this is what I'm going to rely on. So what I worry about is um on the lawyer side becoming, like I said, lowering that quality control and over reliance on the AI that I have to monitor and make sure that that doesn't get out of control, as well as continuing to train people about service and how to respond to clients who are trying to just use AI instead of using a lawyer and say, well, I don't really need you because I've got this. And we need to do a better job explaining to everyone, sure, you can use that. That's okay, but this is what we offer. This is what you're paying for, and providing that, like I said, value in consideration for money.
Mhm.
um, what is it that we're doing that is beyond what AI can do? And that's a challenge that is constant, and it has to be a culture that's set in our practice.
Yeah, that's a great point. Not only communicating that effectively to the clients so they get it, but also internally. So,
Yeah,
team
yeah,
gets
so they understand. Yeah,
it. Yeah, great.
that's right.
And then, so you just gave me some great information on not only the growth that you've had, but also where you're looking to grow. Both countries continue to expand, 100,000 clients, super impressive. Um, I always end by pulling that back to the personal. So, because we can talk about growth targets and metrics and everything, but for you personally, what is your driving personal motivation behind that? I usually frame it as the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, really excited.
um I don't know. I mean, for me, I'd say there's um family is very important to me. I have three young children under the age of 7. Been married for 11 years now. I I mean, I get out of bed to make sure that I'm doing what's best for them, to
Mhm.
make sure I can give them the best life that I can give them, the best opportunity. That's the why you get out of bed. But why you continue to grow is because it's. I almost feel like. If you have the ability and yeah, if you have the ability and the resources to do more, then you should. It's like with great power comes great responsibility. You should always be pushing yourself. You should never settle. Like sharks, if they stop swimming, they die. Something like that, right? So it's not to say I'm a shark, but it's more like um, yeah, you have a responsibility to society in general to not just be satisfied with your lot, but to continue pushing if you can, and see how much more good you can do. So that I'd say that general sense of responsibility and my family, those are probably, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not just scaling services, you're scaling quality of services, right? So
Right, right.
excellent. Great, Jacob. That was fantastic. Really appreciate your time. And
Well, thanks for having me.
yeah, absolutely. Just to wrap up, how can people find you if they want to learn more about your firm?
Yeah, you can go to either our Blue Star Equity website, bluestarequity.com. You can also go to our KPA lawyers dot com. You can also, it's kpa.com. You can also visit our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel, KPA. I do a little bit of videos. I also post some of the podcasts that I've been doing. And you can also reach out to me directly, Jacob at kpalawyers.ca.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you. Take care.